Damon, please.
Celeste's moans drifted down through the floorboards, clear enough that every word landed. I was curled up in the basement. The back of my neck, where Damon had marked me, was bleeding again. This was my 180th day since following Damon back to the Silverwing Pack. He was the late Silverwing Pack Alpha's illegitimate son. With his father and older brother both dead, he was called back to take the Alpha throne. But I wasn't his Luna. Oliver and I had been put in the basement, Omega servants in everything but name. I scrubbed every floor in the Alpha mansion. I hand-washed Celeste's designer clothes. I had beef stew thrown in my face when Celeste decided it wasn't hot enough. Damon never said a word for me. I decided I was done with him. I called my father and went back to the Golden Crown Pack. Later, he knelt before me.
I've already exiled Celeste. Please forgive me.
My father bared his fangs.
Leave my daughter's world unless you want to die.
Stay away from my mom.
My fated mate says you are her shame.
A final, high-pitched moan drifted down, and their sex ended in a climax. I took a moment, then pushed myself up from the floor and cleaned the blood off me. Damon came down the stairs and touched the wound on my neck. I stepped back. He was still trying to soothe me.
Just hold on a little longer, Rhea. Celeste controls half of Asheville Group and half the pack's loyalty. I can't afford to offend her right now. Once I've got full control, I'll give you everything.
He leaned in to kiss me.
Damon, I reject you as my mate.
Don't say that. You know the one I love is you.
The ache on the back of my neck reminded me he was lying. My wolf, Celine, whimpered in my mind. I can't trust him anymore. But his deep blue eyes looked so sincere, just like the first time we met. I decided to give him one final chance. I took his hand.
I can give you everything you want. I am Freya, the only daughter of the Golden Crown Pack's Alpha King, his heir.
Exasperation swept across his face.
Power isn't something you just claim, Freya. A woman who lies isn't very interesting, is she?
He don't know who I really was. When I was 18 and discovered he was my fated mate, I insisted on living with him in the slums. I took pills to hide my golden wolf identity and cut all ties with my family for him.
Oh, about Oliver getting into that elite preschool. It'll have to wait. There's only one spot this year, and I gave it to Lilith.
I looked into his handsome eyes, but now they only felt like a stranger's. Back in the slums, he had promised me.
Once we had the money, I would make sure Oliver got the best education.
I remembered those words deeply, so I'd begged him ever since the first day we returned to the Silverwing Pack. But now, I knew it was over. I wouldn't count on him anymore.
Fine. Whatever you say.
I replied flatly and stopped looking at him. It didn't matter anymore. I'd made up my mind. I was leaving. Oliver wouldn't need him for anything anymore. I found painkillers in the nightstand and swallowed them. Tomorrow, there was still work to be done, but this drudgery wouldn't last much longer. Damon sighed and left my room. After the door closed, I took out my phone and sent a petition to the Werewolf Council to force dissolve our mate bond. A minute later, I received an automated reply.
Your application for forced dissolution has been received. You will receive a response within 7 days.
7 days. Then Oliver and I would be gone for good. The next morning, Oliver and I had breakfast together in his little storage room. I told him my decision.
Mum, you always said people make mistakes. Can we give Dad one more chance?
Just one.
I couldn't ignore his innocent face.
Then let's make a deal. Today is the 5-year anniversary of mine and Dad's marking. If he remembers to celebrate with us, we'll stay. Okay?
I stroked his soft hair. He adored his father. For Oliver, I decided to give Damon another chance. This was truly the last chance. There wouldn't be another. Later, a maid came to find me in the garden.
Alpha asks you and your son to come to the banquet hall at 8 tonight, a family gathering.
My hand froze on the garden shears. A faint hope flickered inside me. Had Dawn really decided to change? Maybe he believed what I told him yesterday? I went to find Oliver. He was mopping floors, and told him about the invitation. Oliver threw both hands in the air.
Yes! Mom, Dad must have a surprise for you. I knew he still loved us.
I hugged him tightly, tears blurring my eyes.
Yes. Maybe so.
Oliver and I went to our separate wardrobes and picked out our best clothes. We were both hoping Damon might formally introduce us to the pack tonight. We arrived 20 minutes early, only to find Celeste and Lilith already standing at his side.
Daddy, I'm tired.
Lilith tugged at his sleeve. She called him Daddy. Damon lifted her lovingly. Celeste clung to his arm, leaning into him with a smile. They looked like a real family of 3. Oliver and I were excess. Then, someone spotted us. Looks of disgust rippled through the banquet hall. Damon saw us too. Still holding Lilith,
Perfect timing. I was just about to make an announcement. Celeste is pregnant. I'm naming this child my alpha heir.
his smile was so easy, so natural. As though this was simply how things were meant to be. Celeste stood beside him and raised an eyebrow at me, smug, my fists slowly clenched.
Damon, what about Oliver? Isn't he your son too?
His expression didn't waver.
Of course Oliver is my son, but Rhea, you're just a penniless rogue she-wolf with nothing to your name. Your child can't inherit my pack. Don't worry, I'll give you and Oliver everything you deserve, as my mistress and my bastard.
A dark tide of grief swallowed me whole. This was the man I had loved for 7 years. I had thrown away everything for him. I laughed until the tears came.
This is your idea of compensation, Damon? You trampled everything I gave you. You destroyed our family with your own hands.
I gripped Oliver's cold little hand tight. I could feel his heart breaking. I would never let anyone hurt him again. I wiped my tears.
We're done, Damon.
I took Oliver, crying silently, and turned to leave. Damon came after us.
Don't be so selfish, Freya. Celeste has already agreed to let you stay as my mistress. You should be grateful.
Celeste walked over, smiling.
On top of that, we've decided Oliver can attend school with Lilia. And starting tonight, you two can move upstairs. I'll have 2 guest rooms prepared. I'll need someone to look after me during the pregnancy anyway.
Damon nodded beside her, approving. I looked straight at him.
Do you even remember that I'm your wife, Damon?
And stiffened for just a moment.
I was actually going to mention that. The platinum ring I gave you, my mother's ring, I need you to take it off. Give it to Celeste.
I closed my eyes. When I opened them, there was nothing left in them but finality. I pulled off the ring, opened my fingers.
Take it all back. I, Freya Godwin, heir to the Alpha King of the Golden Crown Pack, reject you as my mate.
Everyone in the room went still. They couldn't believe I was the Alpha King's daughter.
I remember. The Golden Crown Pack's heir is named Freya.
Damon and Celeste exchanged a sharp glance.
No way. Look at her, she's so fragile. The Alpha King's daughter would be a golden wolf.
They didn't know about the pills I'd taken when I left home, the ones that suppressed my golden wolf identity, everything I'd hidden for him.
Enough, Rhea. Stop making a scene. Apologize to Celeste.
I laughed bitterly, holding back my tears.
The ones who owe an apology are you. Hell is coming for you both.
I took my son and walked out. Through the Silverwing Pack's streets, under the cold night sky.
Mom, I don't want to be a bastard.
You won't be. As long as I'm here, no one will ever call you that.
I don't want Daddy anymore.
Looking at the grief in his eyes, my heart came apart. I held him tighter.
Good.
In the dark, my voice came out steady and quiet.
We don't need him.
Never asked to sleep with me that night. I lay beside him, humming softly, patting his back until he drifted off. Once he was asleep, I took my phone to the bathroom and called my father. When Maxim's voice came through, I cried.
I'll send the private jet right now, and I'll have our warriors tear Silverwing apart.
I held back my tears, thanked him, told him I'd buy my own tickets. I used my last $500 on 2 seats to Kingston City, the Golden Crown Pack's territory. The flight was at 8 in the morning. I started packing. 7 years of marriage. My belongings were so few, they didn't even fill a single suitcase. I had just zipped it shut when my door flew open. Damon stood in the doorway, panic all over his face.
Get Oliver and come with me. Lilith had a peanut allergy attack. The doctors say she needs a stomach transplant.
My blood stopped moving. A peanut allergy? Requiring a stomach transplant? He wanted to take my son's stomach.
Then what does Oliver use?
They'll fit him with an artificial one.
Ice flooded through me. Damon was already picking up Oliver, who had just woken. Oliver rubbed his eyes, confused.
What's happening?
Oliver, Lilith accidentally ate peanuts at the banquet. It caused a severe perforation.
Damon kept his voice controlled.
The doctors say she has a werewolf healing disorder. On top of it, surgery won't take. You're the only one who can save her.
How do I save her?
Give her your stomach. Daddy will get you a new one. You're a boy. Don't be soft.
Oliver could react. Damon had him through the door.
You cannot kill our son.
Lilith is waiting for surgery. Are you trying to let her die?
Damon shoved me aside, shifted into his silver wolf, and tore toward the city's werewolf hospital at full speed. I let Celine take over, but in her gray wolf form, she was too slow. By the time I arrived, Oliver was already being wheeled into the operating room.
Mom! Help me! Dad, no, Uncle. I'll call you Uncle from now on. I won't call you Dad anymore. I'll never compete with Lily for you again. Don't kill me.
Damon stood at the door and spoke to him gently.
Be brave, Oliver. It'll be over soon. Daddy will buy you candy when you wake up.
Celeste came toward me, crying.
But disasters don't announce themselves. They're cousins. Oliver should save his sister, shouldn't he?
When she looked up, her eyes were full of triumph. Damon walked over and put his arm around her shoulders.
Don't blame yourself. This isn't your fault. Rhea will understand.
None of this would have happened if she hadn't caused a scene at the banquet.
Damon looked at me and sighed.
Learn from this. No more scenes.
Oliver's cries kept coming. Everything flashed through my mind at once. Scalding beef stew, a slap across Oliver's face, insects thrown at him, a banana peel left under his feet. My rage tore through the pill's suppression. My golden wolf broke free.
Get out of my way!
I roared.
Golden Wolf? You're actually Golden Wolf?
My golden wolf carried Oliver in my jaws and leaped out the window. I took one last look at Damon, furious, dangerous. This was a declaration of war from the only golden she-wolf king in the world. I raced toward the Golden Crown pack and never looked back. Damon and Celeste stood frozen in shock. It took them a moment to remember Lilith. Celeste rushed to the hospital bed. Lilith had just woken from anesthesia.
Mom, is that annoying Oliver dead yet? Can I have his stomach to kick around?
Celeste quickly covered her mouth. Damon walked over, suspicion on his face. He examined Lilith's perfectly healthy body and understood everything. Celeste nervously forced a smile.
Lilith was just talking in her sleep. She was in so much pain she couldn't help it.
Damon's fist connected with her face. Celeste hit the ground, furious.
You hit me? Remember who feeds you!
You almost made me kill my own son!
Don't be ridiculous, Damon. I didn't force you. You did it willingly, didn't you?
Damon finally saw her for who she was. He roared, shifted into his silver wolf, and raced toward the Silverwing Pack's Alpha mansion. He wanted to find me, to kneel and beg for my forgiveness. But when he burst into my basement, he found only an empty room. Then his phone lit up with an email from the Werewolf Council. After careful review, your mate bond with Freya Godwin has been forcibly dissolved, effective immediately. The pain hit him like a tidal wave. Damon dropped to his knees on the floor, while Oliver and I were already sitting in my father's private jet. While I was crying in my father's arms, the email from the Werewolf Council came in. It told me my mate bond with Damon had been dissolved. The pain hit me the next second, tearing through every inch of my bones. I knew Damon felt the same thing. Good. This is just the appetizer, Damon. Your fall into hell has just begun. 3 days after returning to the Golden Crown Pack, I had our best hacker, Emil, breach Silverwing Pack's internal network. By that same day, I had their criminal records. The Ashvale Group ran logistics and real estate. What I found on the real estate side was straightforward. Every construction project handled by Damon's father, Owen, and his brother Theodore had used materials that failed environmental compliance standards. The logistics side was worse. Every major shipment Damon had handled in the 6 months since he took over had been transported without insurance coverage for the clients, violating logistics laws. All the money that should have gone toward premiums had gone straight into Damon's pocket. I organized the data into 2 separate files. Just as I closed my laptop, Emil walked into the office.
I found something even bigger, King Heir. The father of Celeste's unborn child isn't Damon. It's Gamma Ronin.
He went on to tell me that the two of them had been exchanging explicit photos on their phones to flirt, which meant not all of their conversations went through MindLink, leaving plenty of evidence on their devices. Celeste had never intended to stay with Damon. She said that even though she was born into that poor little pack called Citrine, she was still an Alpha's daughter, and she would never tie herself to a bastard. Her plan was to let the child be born first, then have Ronin kill Damon. The child would inherit everything as the Alpha heir of Silverwing Pack. What a grand plan. It turned out I wasn't the only one who wanted Damon dead. I thanked Emil and told him to keep gathering intel. I went up to the penthouse sunroom to check on Oliver. He'd been receiving professional psychological treatment for the past 3 days. My heart ached for him. As I was walking up the stairs, my father ran over happily.
About your matchmate shaking. I showed your photo to several alphas from major packs. They were all captivated by you. They begged me to arrange meetings.
I raised an eyebrow.
So you told them the cost of becoming my chosen mate? That they'd have to live in Golden Crown Terry for the rest of their lives, give up their own surnames, and take the Godwin name instead?
My father shrugged and pulled a photo from his tailored trousers pocket.
I did, so I only got one photo back. He's the only one willing to give up his name for you.
I took it from him. My eyes widened.
Him?
The man in the photo had an exceptionally handsome face. He was smiling, but the oppressive sense of superiority in his eyes still made my fingers tremble. Julian Blackthorn, Alpha of the Bloodclaw Pack, the second largest pack in the world. In fact, in terms of pure combat power, the Bloodclaw Pack was the undisputed #1. I handed the photo back to my father.
Come on, Dad, he's not serious. And I set such harsh conditions just because I don't want another mate. Don't push this.
Maxim's eyes dimmed with disappointment.
I know you've lost faith in love, but I just want to find someone reliable to be by your side. I'm getting old.
My nose stung. I knew exactly how much he loved me. To spare my father the heartbreak, I agreed to meet Julian.
Please set up a time for me, Dad.
My father happily pulled out his phone and promised to finalize it today. Watching his back, I reaffirmed my resolve to run the Golden Crown Pack well. Oliver was in his sunroom playing with Lego. Now he had his own room, spacious and bright. He could eat steak and eggs every day, just as Lilith used to flaunt in front of him. In the future, I would give him even more, the best education, the broadest horizons, and the fullest wealth. I crouched down in front of him.
Oliver, are you feeling any better today?
He nodded, but the sadness in his eyes remained. I said nothing. I just sat quietly beside him. After a long while, when he had finished building a Lego house, he finally looked up.
Mom, is it true that not every house has a father?
I choked, unable to answer.
Is it true that not every father loves his own children?
I held back tears and hugged him. This was a cruel truth we had to face.
Yes, my child. Damon doesn't love us. We need to forget him.
My father arranged a meeting with Julian for me. It was set for that afternoon, in the Golden Crown Pack's private reception hall. He arrived right on time, impeccable suit, hair perfectly combed. Standing in the doorway, he looked like he'd stepped off the cover of a luxury magazine. I didn't get up from the sofa.
King here, Godwin.
He sat down across from me, his voice low.
Long time no see.
I raised an eyebrow.
Have we met?
He smiled. Those eyes looked down at me, deep and unreadable.
12 years ago, the Werewolf Council annual summit. The pine forest outside the venue.
My fingers paused. Pine forest. That year I was 13. I'd slipped out of the venue alone to practice controlling my golden wolf form, and I stumbled upon 2 adult wolves chasing a boy. The boy was pinned against a tree trunk, covered in blood, staring at his pursuers with eyes cold as ice. I stepped forward on instinct. The moment my golden wolf's aura spread, the 2 attackers fled. I didn't even know who he was. I only remembered him standing up straight, looking at me and saying,
Thank you.
Then he left. I came back to the present and looked at Julian across the table.
It was you.
It was me.
He looked at me.
You turned and walked away. Didn't give me a chance to say anything.
Because I hadn't retracted my golden wolf form, I ran away in a panic. I didn't follow that thread.
So you agreed to all the conditions my father laid out?
Yes.
Why?
He didn't answer right away. He just looked at me quietly for a long time.
Because I owe you a life. And I've been waiting for you for a long time.
I averted my gaze, composed.
Alpha Blackthird, I don't need you to take care of me out of gratitude.
I want to be your mate. Not because of gratitude.
I had just lifted my coffee cup when my hand stopped. He told me that when he turned 18, he'd wanted to come find me. I had just come of age then. He sent people to inquire about me, but he learned that I'd already found my fated mate.
I couldn't use force to make you marry me. Whether it's toward my savior or towards the girl I love, that would be disrespectful.
I hadn't expected him to be this direct. I didn't even know when he'd fallen in love with me, but those deep, sincere blue eyes of his slowly softened something rigid in my heart. I took a sip of coffee and decided to let my head handle this.
You do know that if you choose to become my chosen mate, you'll lose your chance to find your own fated mate forever.
I know.
You won't regret it?
He looked at me, steady gaze, firm voice.
I've already found the one I want. No regrets.
It sounded like a vow. Celine roared in my head.
Say yes to his proposal.
I didn't lose my composure. I turned my gaze away, looking out the window. The sun was bright in the yard. Oliver was playing on the grass. After a long moment, I made my decision.
We can get married, but only in name. No real marriage.
You don't have to live in the Golden Crown Pack. You don't have to change your surname to Godwin. We each live our own lives. This marriage is just to form a stronger alliance between our two packs. Do you agree?
Disappointment flickered in Julian's eyes, but in the end, he nodded.
I accept your conditions. But I have one request.
I furrowed my brow and looked at him.
If you ever change your mind, you tell me first.
The sturdy wall inside me crumbled a little more. I smiled, elegant, gentle, and extended my hand.
Deal.
His hand was large and steady, unlike Din and I began mating regularly, like business partners, with the goal of marriage. During this time, the situation in the Silver Wing Pack grew increasingly unstable. Beyond the evidence we'd already found against the Ashvale group, the pack's internal governance itself was falling apart. 3 years ago, an Omega maid had died there. Celeste killed her. The reason? The maid accidentally hurt her while trimming her toenails. Investigators from the Werewolf Council had already entered Silverwing to begin their inquiry. The internal scandals and the Ashvale group's problems made everyone lose the last shred of trust in the Ashvale family. Damon's business partners dropped him one by one. Ashvale Group's stock price fell nearly 40% in 3 days. But Damon himself clearly hadn't realized he was standing on the edge of a cliff. He poured all his energy into women. On one hand, he sent messages through intermediaries, hoping to see me. On the other, he tried to soothe Celeste, who was growing increasingly dissatisfied with his behavior. He thought one of us 2 women would eventually help him. When I received another apology letter he'd sent through security, I didn't even look at it. I threw it in the trash. I just opened my laptop and organized my final package. It was the complete chat history between Celeste and Ronan, their affair, and their plot to assassinate Damon. It would blow Damon to pieces. I would activate it soon. Now, I had to go have dinner with Oliver. Oliver had grown plump and healthy under my care. More adorable than ever. He'd even learned to cut steak. When he stood on his tiptoes and placed the cut steak in front of me, he said seriously,
Mom, can I trade this steak for a wish?
What wish?
I want to change my surname to Godwin. From today on, I'm Oliver Godwin.
and told him,
One day, you'll be the alpha of the Golden Crown Pack, Oliver Godwin.
I put both promises into writing. After the name change documents were submitted to the Werewolf Council, my father formally announced at a full Council of Elders meeting, Oliver Godwin is the next successor after his mother, Freya Godwin, effective immediately. The news reached the Silver Wing Pack that evening. Emil told me Damon smashed everything in his study. Then he drove through the night to the border of the Golden Crown Pack. The guard stopped him. Shifted into his silver wolf. He roared, knocked them out, and charged into the Alpha Mansion. He stood beneath my window, his voice carrying a panic I'd never heard from him before.
Rhea, you changed Oliver's surname. He's my son. You don't have the right.
I coldly closed the window. He stayed there the whole time. At first, he accused me, said I'd never loved him, said I'd intended to deceive him from the start.
If you just told me you were the Golden Crown Pack's heir earlier, none of this would have happened.
Then he apologized, admitting he'd done some things he shouldn't have.
But I did it for your and Oliver's safety. Otherwise, what if Celeste had hurt you?
Then came the excuses. In the end, he completely broke down. He knelt on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably, begging for my forgiveness.
I know everything is my fault. I'm only asking for one more chance, just one. Without you and Oliver, I can't go on.
At dawn, I finally opened the window. I took out my earplugs and looked at his haggard, tear-streaked face. Cold, calm.
Some things don't come back once they're broken, and neither do I. Go back, Damon. What's waiting for you out there? You've earned it.
With that, I turned and left, letting the Golden Crown Pack's gammas drive him away. Julian had invited me to try on wedding dresses today. I was already looking forward to seeing him. 2 weeks. Preparations for Julian's and my wedding proceeded smoothly. The situation in the Silver Wing Pack, however, took a sharp turn for the worse. The Werewolf Council's investigation concluded. The verdict? Celeste Vance, former Luna of the Silver Wing Pack, executed an Omega member without due process, in clear violation of Article 12 of the Werewolf Life Rights Accord. Celeste was summoned by the Council. Meanwhile, the Ashvale Group's environmental violation cases entered formal legal proceedings. All ongoing construction projects were halted, and completed developments were ordered to be rectified. The insurance fraud case case on the logistics side was also exposed in the news. All clients, holding their signed contracts, demanded compensation from Damon for breach of contract. He faced a staggering $2 billion debt. I knew he'd never pay it off. He started messaging me frequently, using different numbers. His messages shifted from anger to pleading to desperation.
Rhea, I'm in a really tough spot right now. Can you come back and help me get through this? If you don't want to come back, at least give me some money.
It reminded me of when we still lived in the slums. One night, Oliver had a fever and we had no money for the hospital. I begged Damon to find a way. He said payday was still 10 days away, and he didn't want to ask his boss for an advance.
So you're just going to watch our son die?
I cried, kneeling before him. He shifted uncomfortably and said,
Why don't you ask the neighbors for some money?
It was a stormy night. He refused to come with me to save face. I went door to door across the entire slum, crying, begging for money. $1, $2. By dawn, I'd finally scraped together enough. Oliver stayed in the hospital for 2 days and barely made it. I should have known back then that he was never worth loving, but I remained foolish for years. This time, I wouldn't be foolish. I changed my phone number and told everyone in the Golden Crown Pack, drive Damon away like a rogue whenever he appears. Dare offend the Golden Crown Pack scammers, but he couldn't give up on seeking my help, so he was turned away again and again, like the rogue he'd become. This is what you deserve, Damon. And there's more. After about 10 days, he stopped coming, because the truth about Celeste and Ronan was laid out before him. A week before our wedding, Emil brought the latest news. With Celeste and Ronan's chat records presented in full at the Werewolf Council's tribunal, Damon became a laughingstock. He broke down on the spot. He no longer protected Celeste in the name of the Silver Wing Pack's Alpha. Instead, he cooperated with the tribunal, handing over more of Celeste's crimes. It turned out Celeste had killed more than just Omega Hannah. She had also murdered the finance officer Monica to cover up her embezzlement, and had used the company's name to launder money for others. The council announced Celeste's arrest on the spot and sentenced her to life imprisonment. But Damon felt no victory. As he walked out of the tribunal hall, he collapsed on the steps. When he woke up, he'd gone mad. The Silver Wing Pack's elders removed him from his alpha position and cast him out of the pack. Where he is now? No one knows. By the time Emil finished telling me all this, I'd just finished writing my wedding invitations.
Deliver one to every alpha except the Silver Wing Pack.
I handed them all to a maid. Then I stood up and smiled at Emil.
Thank you. Your job is done from today on. I don't need to hear any more news about Damon.
I'd finally let go of Damon and of myself. News of Damon becoming a rogue would reach me again. It happened during a break at a business meeting with several top pack heirs. I overheard their conversation while drinking coffee.
I saw him scavenging outside the Golden Crown Pack 2 days ago. He's completely lost his mind. The only thing he says is, Rhea, I was wrong.
I walked back into the room with my coffee, and they stopped talking. I smiled. Their words didn't affect me. I simply took my place at the head of the table and said to everyone,
If everyone's rested, shall we continue?
Money and power were on my side. As for that alpha who'd gone mad, who cared? The night before the wedding, the full moon hung in the sky, round and bright, illuminating the entire garden. I sat alone on the steps of the villa's back garden. I couldn't sleep. Something in my heart was hard to name, like calmness, and something faintly stirring beneath it. Celine suddenly grew quiet in my mind, and then she cried out, not in pain, but in a pure, wild joy I'd never heard from her before.
It's him! It's him!
Before I could react, a flash of white light leapt over the garden wall. A massive white wolf landed on the grass, flattening a rose bush. I stood up. A white wolf. The alpha of the Bloodclaw pack. He shifted back to human form fast. His suit jacket was gone, and he wore only a white dress shirt, his hair slightly disheveled, his eyes impossibly bright in the moonlight. It was Julian. Over and stopped 3 steps in front of me, chest heaving, as if he'd run a very long way. Then he smiled. That was the first time I'd ever seen him smile without any guards up.
It's you, Rhea, it's you.
He said, his voice hoarse.
You're my fated mate.
Celine was howling and rolling in my mind. I could feel a thin, taut thread suddenly tighten, running through my chest, connecting to him. Under the moonlight, my eyes inexplicably grew hot. I asked him,
Did you know this before?
No.
He shook his head.
I only felt it tonight. Just now, my wolf told me you were here.
He took a step closer.
Am I too late?
I looked up at him. The weight of the past 7 years suddenly felt lighter. I said,
No. Right on time.
He pulled me into his arms. I didn't pull away. The midday sun, the back garden of the Golden Crown Pack, was covered in white flowers. Members from both packs filled the lawn, and even beyond the walls, ordinary wolves crowded to watch. I stood on the steps in my white gown. Oliver walked beside me in his suit, hair carefully combed by my father, escorting me with perfect seriousness.
Mom, you look beautiful today.
Halfway down the aisle, he glanced up at me. I looked down and squeezed his hand.
You look very handsome too, Oliver Godsman.
The corners of his mouth lifted. It was the first time in a long while I'd seen him smile so freely. Ahead, Julian stood beside the officiant, looking at me. Those eyes that once looked down on the world were now fixed only on me. After the ceremony, my father drank too much, cried for a long time, and had to be carried off by his brothers to rest. The lawn was alive with celebration. Julian and I stood side by side in a corner of the garden. I asked,
Any regrets? Before last night, you didn't know I was your fated mate.
Julian paused to think.
No. You were the one I wanted, no matter what.
I turned to look at him. In the sunlight, his face still held that look, like a man who owned the world. But when he looked at me, it wasn't from above. He met my eyes, like I was the one thing in the world worth looking at. I liked the way it felt to be truly seen. I'd been crying out for him in prison. When the warden brought the mad Damon before her, she finally lost all hope. She knew no one could save her. But to her surprise, the moment Damon saw her, he snapped back to clarity. He lunged forward, grabbed her throat, screaming that he would kill her.
It's all your fault! If you die, Freya will forgive me!
Don't be naive, Damon. The corpse Freya wants to see has always been yours!
With that, she laughed and threw herself against the prison wall. Those were her last words to this world. Her daughter Lilith had been placed in a shelter, hoping to meet a foster family. Celeste didn't love Lilith, and Lilith didn't love her. They were just tools to each other. Damon was horrified by what he'd witnessed. He became even more insane, but he remembered those words. So on a snowy night in deep winter, he died in the snow just outside the Golden Crown Pack's walls. I had the Gammas bury him. I didn't want to know where he was buried. I didn't even care to look at his body. Oliver never learned any of this. All he knew was that Julian loved him. It was the first time he'd ever experienced what a father's love felt like. One quiet night, after Julian finished telling Oliver a bedtime story, I leaned close to his ear.
This story isn't for just one child. It's for two. I'm pregnant.
Julian held me tight. We breathed in each other's presence, looking forward to an even brighter tomorrow.